Top 10 fragrances to smell absolutely irresistible and unforgettable. All 10 of these fragrances are really exquisite as far as the quality is concerned. Also, we're dealing with a nice bit of originality here. It's a pretty diverse list, totally unisex as well. And of course, if you want to leave your mark or if you want to leave a positive impression in somebody's mind, these 10 are the way to go. I'm excited to share this list with you very soon, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on these 10 unforgettable, irresistible fragrances, if you want to smell unforgettable, make sure you're wearing one of these 10. All of these have a pretty high compliment factor as well, and I'll let you know why as I reveal each one. But before I dive into the video, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So before I start the video, I do want to mention that if you're interested in sampling any of these fragrances, because let's be honest, I really don't recommend blind buying, you may sample them at ScentSplit.com. So all of the information is going to be down below. They are a decanting service. You can buy a 1 ml sample, a 5 ml sample, whatever floats your boat. And of course, try it on your own skin, see how it resonates with your personal taste and how it interacts with your pH levels and your skin chemistry. And of course, after all of that is said and done, if you're still interested in purchasing or committing to the purchase of a full-size bottle, you may do so that way. Not all of these are going to be available on ScentSplit, but I wanted to curate a really honest list. If they are available on ScentSplit, good. If not, then I'm sure if you look around somewhere else, you can find a sample of them as well. In the number 10 spot, Ambrosia Imperial by Navitus Parfum. This one was creatively directed by Aisha from the channel AI the Great. This is banana, whipped cream, rum. I think there's also a marshmallow accord in here as well. It is so delicious, and it's composed by perfumer Bertrand Duchaufour. I think it's one of his best. And of course, with this one, it's going to be super unique. It's not that often you come across a banana-based perfume, especially one that is done this good. It's boozy, it's a little sweet, it has these gourmand tendencies. The banana is very realistic as well. It is so good. Of course, we also have, and I could have selected any number of fragrances from this brand because they always do a remarkable job when it comes to uniqueness and originality and all of that stuff. But by Xerjoff, this is Alexandria 3. This is such an amazing Brazilian rosewood, sweet vanilla, agarwood type of a fragrance. It's woodsy, it's spicy, it's a little fruity, but this is an amazing fragrance. And of course, Alexandria 2 is also incredible. One of my personal favorites. This one takes it in a more dark direction. There's also rose in here. So I think that's going to be a star player in Alexandria 3 too. They're quite similar, right? So you can tell that they're siblings of one another. If you like Alexandria 2, please try this one. And then of course, there's also Alexandria Orientale. There are so many flankers. This is one that I can get behind. Trajan by Electimus London. This fragrance has this sort of ethyl maltyl type of a vibe. It gets compared to Baccarat Rouge, but the thing with Electimus London fragrances is they are super long lasting. So of course you can expect 12 plus hours with whatever you try from this brand, Vixere or Black Caviar even, Imperium, Caspian Cherry, Spice Darno. There are so many beautiful offerings from this brand. Trajan kind of has this irresistible, unforgettable quality. It's also, dare I say, a bit muskier than the Baccarat Rouge. So if you're looking for something on the darker, muskier side of things, please check this one out. Good Girl Gone Bad by Kilian Paris. So of course, this is one of the best floral fragrances on the market. And this one came out such a number of years ago, but this one is a huge compliment getting fragrance. It is such a beautiful perfume. Again, it's magnetic and irresistible in the sense that it kind of gives off this natural floral demeanor. This is one I can get behind. Okay, so 2 from Kilian Paris, and this is a fan favorite. It really needs no introduction. This one, of course, is Angel's Share. Now, with this particular fragrance, you're gonna get the booze and the cinnamon, and it's warm, and it's a bit spicy as well. It has these ambery tendencies, so it's a bit resinous, a hint of vanilla. It's not overly sweet, but this is such a beautiful, boozy cognac type of a fragrance. Beautiful presentation as well. I know a lot of people talk about Camra by Latafa. They wear that in its place. Yes, one was inevitably inspired by the other. They're aesthetically similar. They can be worn in the same seasons and occasions, but they are ultimately different. Same thing can be said between Owajan by Parfum de Marly and this one. I know Owajan predated Angel Share. This one is not as powdery. It's toned down as far as the honey is concerned. So while there are various comparisons to be made, I think each perfume inevitably still does its own thing. Consort by Bodicea de Victorious. This is, okay, in the vein of Creed Aventus. And of course, this is one that I also truly love. It's a bit earthier, I would say. So this one has this sort of a cedarwood oak moss dry down, and it's something that I would compare to, I suppose, Orion by Tiziana Terenzi. And that's another one that is a fruity chypre in the vein of like a Creed Aventus DNA, but it does take it in a woodsier, earthier direction. We also have one from the Dua brand. This one is Creamy Coconut Cherry. So with this fragrance, just as the name implies, it's a bit creamy, it's lactonic, it's sweet, you have this cherry vibe, it's a bit tart, but it doesn't smell anything like Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. So when I mentioned uniqueness and originality at the beginning of this video, I was also taking into consideration some original creations such as this that might utilize some familiar notes, ingredients, or elements, but still manage to put an original spin on it. And this one is very, very good. So if you're a fan of gourmands, some of you may choose to draw the line here. This one by Greek brand Theodoros Kalotinis is called Velvet Chocolate. Now, in layman's terms, if you want to smell like chocolate fudge cake or like a chocolate brownie, this is the way to go. The more I smell these chocolate perfumes side by side and I juxtapose them, I can get a bit better with kind of conveying things in layman's terms. Like Chocolate Greedy by Montal is more of a Oreo cookie type of a fragrance. If you smell it again and you just think of Oreo cookies, it hits the nail right on the proverbial head. This one is more of a chocolate brownie type of a perfume, but it's so good. If you love your gourmands, it's a must-have. In the number 2 spot, I'm sorry, we got to keep the chocolate train going. This one is actually a bit spicy and it's also a bit powdery. So if you're not a fan of powdery fragrances, perhaps this is not the first one I'd recommend. Another one that's kind of powdery in the same vein is by Atelier Materi, and it's called Cacao Porcelana. But this one is Coco Chimia by Atelier de Sor. 2 ateliers. So this one, beautifully dark and sweet, a little powdery, as I said. You have this provocative richness about it, and it really is a memorable blend. It will leave you smelling irresistible and unforgettable. And it's also one of those like head turning and also head scratching fragrances where it's like, what in the world am I smelling here? This is so good. It's so different. But in the number 1 spot, and this is a perfume that I purchased a number of years ago. Yeah, it's actually been around for a number of years and it's one of my favorites. This one is Drop Dead Gorgeous. I mean, it is so, so good. It's incredibly versatile, perfectly unisex. It's an elemi resin based fragrance. There's a bit of citrus in here as well, some smooth woods. It is such an enchanting composition and it has this fantastical quality about it. And I will admit, I am inadvertently influenced by the name of the perfume. It's based on a comedy by William Shakespeare. And of course, this one by Roger Parfum, it is so beautiful. It's called A Midsummer Dream. So there you have it. 10 perfumes that you can check out if you want to smell unforgettable and irresistible. All 10 of these have something really, really gorgeous and really special going for them. And I think they all really hit the mark in such a beautiful way. But we have a lot of diversity. So you have the boozy fruits, you have the gourmands, you have the boozes and the spices, you have the resins, and you have the florals, and there's a little bit of everything. Some familiar DNAs as far as the Creed Aventus and the Baccarat are concerned, but ultimately they all do it their own way. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you took something of value from today's episode. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up. And once again, if you're interested in checking out any of these fragrances, you may do so at scentsplit.com. All of the information is going to be down below. Thanks again for watching. Love you all. And we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.